And Alexander Armstrong and Ben Miller join us now. Gentlemen, what a pleasure. Were you Jedward fans?
Massive.
Huge.
Yeah?
Huge. The show... Don't look at me like that. The show's lost something. I mean, I don't think they were ever going to win, but I wanted them to last the course. Until the last three.
They are great fun. They didn't let me down in the chat either.
I told you.
We thought maybe we might go for Alexander. What do you think?
I'm liking it.
Or
Bender.
Series 3.
Or Zen.
Zen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It could be confusing.
Congratulations, because yet another fantastic series. And what's great about it is it's just the right mix of new characters, the things that we love and we do. We wouldn't want a complete change. But it must be very difficult to get that balance right, I would have thought.
It is. It's like a little dance you do with yourselves and trying to work out what... you want to bring things back, but you also want to sort of have moved them on a little bit as well.
Yes, and also
new characters too, isn't it?
You kind of want each series to look like it's got an upward trajectory somehow. And if you just do lots of old favourites, it just looks like you're planing a bit.
There must be a temptation, though, for the ones that are really difficult to do, like the pilots.
Yeah.
Because that must be a nightmare.
It takes forever.
Yeah. To think, right, OK, well, this season we'll move them on because it's really hard.
It's really hard. When we did the Royal Variety Show last year, I think that took us about 2 weeks to learn that script. And everywhere we walked, we would just test each other on lines. And just... Because the words coming... It's like learning... It's like if we had to learn a speech in Welsh or something, it'd be like that.
And I'm sure the guy that writes them, Simon Blackwell, who also writes The Thick of It, just makes them harder.
Oh, harder and harder. Well, we did ask him to. We said, well, let's make them hard, because the longer it takes you to learn them, the more fun it is going to be to perform once you put the work in. But
we've got one of the clips here. Let's have a look.
Go on, read it to me, Blood. Listen, I met this geezer, and he's from America or something, It is a GI or something like that. And he, buys me stuff and gives me chewing gum and all this. And this is him to me, I love you. And then this is me to him, I love you too.
That's a bad letter to get.
Yeah.
Especially from your dad.
Very good. Actually, what the characters you do, the kids' TV presenters, for years I've been waiting for somebody to do this because you started out in kids' telly, I started out in kids' telly, and it's just a wealth of comedy.
It's become its own genre, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The children's television apology. It's a whole thing in itself. And one of the things that we were finding funny when we were actually looking at them, researching the sort of original clips, is that the presenters themselves, they're not really very apologetic, actually. They are apologising, but they're doing it in a way...
We live in an era of the sort of contractual apology, where people have to say sorry for things that they're not that upset about, really. And it's kind of... And people get round it by saying, when this happened, it was wrong, so we're sorry. And then they change the subject immediately. Yeah. But politicians do it all the time. But, it's one of those things we've all got used to now.
So once you lift it up to take it on the road, which you're going to do next year...
Very exciting, yeah.
So I mean, that's a whole different way of approach. I mean, I know that you test it out in a small sort of comedy club.
We do. We've got a little... there's a little comedy club in Islington where we try all our sketches out before we do them in the show, and we'll be doing the same thing with the tour. We will be trying everything out first, because it is so different.
That must be the most scary thing. Testing something out, not knowing whether this audience is going to laugh or just be silent, or it must just be brave to do it.
They're honest. I mean, no audience is going to fake a laugh for the sake of sparing your blushes. But, so, yes, you get it pretty honestly from them. But, it's very useful. You then know if a sketch is going to work, it'll work. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But live show, live comedy is where we started out. That's what we used to do all the time. So it's quite nice to be going back to that. It's a very different sort of discipline, because you're much more connected with your audience.
And you actually film 80% of it in front of a live audience anyway, don't you?
Yeah. But people often say, why has it got canned laughter on it? And you think, that is real canned people.
It's a real laugh.
Do they really think that it's...
Yeah.
Everyone always says,
really strange.
why the canned laughter on Armstrong and Miller? And you think, no.
It's called an audience.
It's called an audience.
Yeah.
We have about 500 people.
What's brilliant, though, is also, you've developed this great working relationship. You've had time off, and you come back together again, and you do have your separate things that you do as well. What are you doing separately as well as this?
I'm doing Have I Got News For You this week.
Great.
Great.
Which I always love doing. Always fun. And
I don't know how you do. I don't know how you do. I can't think of a more terrifying.
You wouldn't do that, Ben.
I couldn't imagine how terrifying it was. I was actually on Have I Got News For You once with Charlotte Church, and I didn't say a word.
And what about you? What have you got coming out?
Well, I've just done the Catherine Tate Christmas special. We just filmed it yesterday in front of some canned people.
Yes.
And it was such fun. She's doing Nan's Christmas Carol. So Nan plays Scrooge.
Genius.
And I'm one of the Ghosts of Christmas Past. Roger Lloyd Pack is another, and David Tennant is another. He's just this amazing kind of Russell Brand kind of character. He's amazing.
Well, thank you, gents. It's a pleasure to see you. Armstrong and Miller, don't forget, it's Friday, 9:30, BBC One, and also they are on the road next year, absolutely to be seen. Thank you, gents.
Thank you so much.
That's not at all. And we'll see you after the news.